Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition. Now, here's your host, Reggie Flood. Opinionated, outspoken, informative. Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source. Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition. Now, here's your host, Reggie Flood.
What's happening? Good morning.
Wake up.
It's the Jaguar Journal.
Oh, man. Good morning, everyone out there in radio land. We're getting it going this morning. I got a little energy this morning. I'm up. How about you? You up? Super Bowl Sunday. Mardi Gras. And a big game also on women's basketball. You know, I know we talk SWAC and HBCU, but Are you looking forward to seeing that LSU and South Carolina women's game?
Yeah. I'm much looking forward to seeing that game. Anticipating seeing that game. I really am.
Too, man. I think the battle that should be a good one. If you were to look at it and just right now flip a coin and say this is who I'm picking, because it's 50-50 with two teams, who would you have in that one? The LSU South Carolina.
Still want to see the game. It's not a 50-50 game.
Well, 50-50, somebody got to win. It's two teams,
Yeah, but I mean, LSU is not as good as South Carolina. Now, I will say this, they're going to play well. They're going to give them their best shot. South Carolina is so deep. They're so talented that I doubt if that game, in this type of game, I say this, an 8-point victory is a blowout.
Ooh. I might do a little sports betting on this game tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I won't put them in my player props with the Super Bowl. I got to keep everything separated for tomorrow. I got to make sure everything is separated. NBA trades going on all over the place. Anything that you saw that you like or disliked in the NBA trades?
Trade. The division got a whole lot tougher. The Pels stood pat. The Lakers got better. The Clippers got better. Of course, the Phoenix Suns got better. The Dallas Mavericks got better. All made some good trades to improve their team. The one team that stood pat was the team, the Pelicans. The Pelicans have basically said, we're a year away. We don't want to trade away any of our any of our assets, any of our young guys. We haven't been healthy this year, so we still think we have some time. And we're going to try to just get in the playoffs this year and then see where we go. And then next year, if we can stay healthy, we'll make some moves. We'll evaluate our roster and make some moves if necessary. So a little disappointed that they didn't try to do more, but it is what it is. And I think we're seeing the results. The Pelicans are now almost about a 500 team now after leading the Western Division for most part, or a very good part of the opening of the season. They went on a 10-game losing streak. Now they came back and they won 3 in a row. Now they've lost again last night. So of their last, the Pelicans are 3 for their last. I think they're 4-11 in their last 15 games, and they dropped from second place in the division all the way down to 10th place in the division.
My God, the Pels. Let's do this. They make your stomach hurt when you hear stuff like that. Let's take a break. We'll come back and keep this thing going, all right? He's Reggie Flood. I'm Perry White. It'll be more the Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families.
Bathroom. Got it? How about making it happen with David Duvall and One Bath and Closets? For more than 3 decades, David's been remodeling homes with a concentration on the most popular room in your home, your bathroom. Whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a complete renovation, the great thing about One Bath and Closets is that David handles everything. One company, one contractor, One Bath and Closets. Check out the gallery of his most recent projects and schedule your free in-home consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Ava Cates, Secretary of the Louisiana Workforce Commission, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the Tech Ready Louisiana program. Tech Ready Louisiana is a tool for everyone. We are pleased to partner with Coursera, an online learning platform to provide Louisianians access to over 6,000 free courses to help you navigate a tech-ready world. You can access Coursera by visiting our website or visit one of our local offices. Are you tech ready? Let's get started.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Workforce Commission.
3 fun events for every age are coming your way in February, compliments of the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. We'll host Right Time with Boo Milton for young adults, Saturday Science for teens, and learn about dinosaurs and the dinosaur experience. EBRPL's Author Talk series also continues with 3 new authors in February. Each live virtual event will feature a different best-selling author along with an interactive Q&A session where participants can ask questions directly to the author. To learn about these events and more, visit EBRPL.com.
Heineken is about to change the way we drink beer with the all-new Heineken Silver, a 4% ABV lager beer brewed with an ice-cold lagering process to make it a smooth drink with an extra refreshing taste, crisp, subtle finish, and just 95 calories. So kick back, grab a Heineken Silver, and enjoy.
What did you do when you needed new brakes?
Took it to TRICARE.
Why did you take it to TRICARE?
Because in 9 years of going there, they've never let me down. I've had my brakes done, an alignment, lots of oil changes, new tires, and I get my inspection stickers here too.
Take it to TRICARE, Baton Rouge's trusted automotive center. Or call us at 752-3700 or online at TRICAREautomotive.com.
LWCC is Louisiana Loyal. It's more than a tagline. It's a movement to celebrate and elevate Louisiana. We do this by supporting 20,000 Louisiana businesses and their workers and launching innovative new initiatives. But we cannot do this work alone. We hope you would join us in celebrating our great state and elevating Louisiana's position in America. Together, we can be Louisiana Loyal. Learn more at lwcc.com/Louisiana Loyal.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game and a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Don't miss the chance to win $200 with Homegrown Holidays. Shop in your neighborhood now through December 31st and enter for a chance to win. Presented by the New Orleans Business Alliance, Homegrown Holidays encourages shoppers to support small businesses in Algiers, New Orleans East, Gentilly, and Treme. Stop by any of the 50 participating local retailers for a chance to win. Visit nolaba.org for more information.
Talk 107.3 FM.
It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm here. Y'all were down to like the running back. Christian McCaffrey was finna go in and finna run the Wildcat.
Basically, that's why once Purdy went down, I was like, oh well, that's a wrap. So I knew what it was gonna be like. Then when the defense didn't show up, I was like, oh well, it is what it is. We rode it as far as we could go.
I mean, as far as you could go with Purdy, man. And what for you? Where do the 49ers go from here?
Well, we gotta have to make some decisions at quarterback in terms of whether it's Trey Lance or Purdy. And I think with Purdy getting injured and having to have surgery, I think that decision's been made. We'll come back with Trey Lance. Hopefully, we'll be better. He's a bigger, stronger, faster guy. Hopefully, he figures it out and comes into his own. We got a new defensive coordinator. Because D'Amico Ryans took the job at Houston as the head coach. So we brought in Steve Wilkes as the defensive coordinator. He's traditionally been a good guy in terms of coordinating. San Francisco's defense has been stellar over the last 3 or 4, probably over the last 10 years. It's been a pretty stellar defense. So he just has to keep the train on the track as far as the defense. And we'll go from there. We should be right back in the hunt again next year.
And that is your 49ers update for all you Niner fans out there. What is it? Bang, bang, Niner gang?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just keeping it alive for you. Mike, you a 49ers fan?
Mike seems like he might be an old Eagles fan or a Chicago Bears fan.
First of all,
when he hit you with the first of all,
you guys already know what fan I am.
No, we don't. What are you?
Well, if you guys don't remember, I'm the Ray.
That's
all the way.
That's how he did
All the way.
My bad.
Yeah, he's a. Sound like when your dog run away down the street, you like, hey, run, come on back to the house. That's what. All right, Super Bowl tomorrow. Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. This is one I like this matchup. Chiefs 14-3 on the season. Guess what? The Eagles 14-3. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. First of all, let's start on the other side. We're talking about the Eagles. They come into this ball game. This is going to be interesting enough. Kickoff at 6:30 tomorrow on Fox. In this series, the Chiefs lead 5-4. The last time these two teams met, the Chiefs defeated the Eagles 42-30 back October the 3rd in 2021. Wow, it was the last time they met. The Eagles defeated the 49ers 31-7 to get to this point, and the Chiefs defeated the Bengals 23-20 in a hell of a game to get to the Super Bowl. Overall, you look at the Eagles offense, they're third in the NFL, fifth in rushing, ninth in passing, third in scoring. On the other side, the Eagles defense is second overall in the NFL, but their rush defense is tied for 16th. But, hey, it is tough to pass the ball on them because they're number one in pass defense in the NFL and eighth in the league scoring on the defensive side. When you look at the Chiefs offense, number one overall, they're having a tough time running the ball. But, hey, why you run it when you got Patrick Mahomes, boy, right? Hey, they're 20th in the NFL rushing the ball, first in passing, first in scoring, 11th overall on defense. They're a tough team to run on, 8th in rush defense, but, hey, you may have a field day at 18th in pass defense and number 16 scoring overall on defense. This should be a hell of a game. Jalen Hurts, he's 24. He will try to become the fourth starting QB younger than 25 to win a Super Bowl. And the Eagles went 16-1 with Hurts starting and lost 2 games once he got sidelined with an injury. One of those games was to the Saints. I still remember the Saints went up there and snuck out of Philly with a victory. But when you look on the other side, Travis Kelce should be healthy for this game. He's going to be a big target for Patrick Mahomes. When you look at this game, Flood, the Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, what do you see and what do you like about this matchup?
Eagles defense and all that they can do. I lean toward them, but at the end of the day, you cannot go against the Wizard. And Patrick Mahomes is the Wizard. All right.
He's Hogwarts. Did he go to Hogwarts? He's Harry Potter.
The Wizard and the Eagles defense are mere mortals. I noticed the reason that Kansas City struggled was because Clyde Davis-Hilaire was out with the injury. He's been activated. He's going to play in the Super Bowl. I think that Kansas City plays defense well enough that they, with Jalen Hurts behind it, because, I mean, while Jalen Hurts has done well and they've had success with Jalen Hurts this year, there are some limitations with Jalen Hurts. But the Eagles play really good defense. They run the ball pretty well. At least they ran the ball on San Francisco pretty well. But the difference is, I think if Brock Purdy had not gotten injured, it would have been a much different game. I think if Mahomes is in the game, Kansas City wins.
Ooh, I like that. You know who I'm rolling with? KC Chiefs, baby. The Chiefs all the way. But I like the Eagles. I'm not even going to front. I like the Eagles. I really do. But I just can't go against the grain with this one with Kansas City. Had it been the Bengals, I probably would have been like, let's go Eagles. But with this one, I can't go against the grain. It's Kansas City. And right now I'm looking up tickets. Of course, the game being played in Glendale, Arizona at State Farm Stadium. Upper level, section 420, row 22. Right now, if you want a ticket, $3,310 for anybody out there that still got your Christmas money saved up, or, you know, you can choose between the Super Bowl or Beyonce concert, either or, you know. Maybe fellas for Valentine's Day, you get the Super Bowl, and for your lady on Valentine's Day, you get her Beyonce tickets. How does that work, right? You got a lot of damn money if you do that. That's a little under 10 grand for both ways, isn't it?
Well, that's if you buying off the secondary market, you definitely gonna pay a pretty penny for it.
A pretty penny right now. That's what they're going for. But man, overall, I like this matchup. I don't know. In Louisiana, of course, I understand being a Saints fan. I get it wholeheartedly. But with it being Mardi Gras season and no team anywhere within hundreds of miles close to Louisiana's Super Bowl, do you think the people of Louisiana will still be in a Super Bowl party spirit, or to hell with it, it's just another day?
To have a party and they'll get together. As they say, they get together.
Look, get together.
Get together. As the kids said, they kick back. They never miss that opportunity. And then with Mardi Gras season close now, it's gonna be a lot of people at people's houses on tomorrow under the guise of watching the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, especially with LSU, South Carolina coming up. Go ahead.
And then on top of that, this is football country. People have their favorites, but at the end of the day, it's still football country.
It is football country, and that's what I love about this place. Football is worshipped here, and I love to be in that number, all right? And that's meaning having drinks and food and fellowshipping and sitting back watching some good old pigskin being thrown all over the yard. I totally enjoyed it, and I'm with you on that one. With it being Mardi Gras, what parade should people go check out this weekend?
Yeah, I think Femme Fatale is this weekend, which is a group of African-American ladies, really nice group of ladies.
Southern's band will be performing in that today.
Yeah, Femme Fatale will be, I think that's probably the go-to parade for people who follow the Jaguar Journal. I know they have several parades in Baton Rouge. I think they have almost 9 parades in Baton Rouge today, or this weekend.
Yeah, I popped out last night, Crew of Artemis.
Yeah, I think they have 9 parades in Baton Rouge this weekend. So Baton Rouge might be the spot to be here if you want a parade, if you want to do some parades and get somebody to throw you something.
They was stingy last night, man. They was being real stingy throwing stuff last night, So
maybe you didn't have the right look.
That's all it was. I guess that's what happened when they had the Sesame Street kids, characters walking down the street, and the little kid was wanting a little high five, and they kept on going. That's maybe what that was, if you catch my drift, huh? You feeling, you picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm picking up what you put down. You was picking up what I was putting down. That's just me. I wasn't there. So.
Well, I was there, and they ain't want to throw me nothing. But all right, let's take a break. I'll throw us to a break. All right, let's pay some bills. That's what we can do when we come back. We'll keep it rocking and rolling. All right, stay tuned. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Are you looking for a safe, healthier work environment with an increase in employee productivity? Look no further than Go 225 Janitorial Services. We can provide a free quote for your commercial cleaning needs. Don't leave your commercial cleaning to just anyone. Your company's image is important to us. We're locally owned and operated and provide a quality, reliable cleaning service every time. Visit Go 225 Janitorial Services online at go225janserve.com or contact us at 225-360-5233.
It's the Jaguar Journal. Reggie Flood. I'm Perry White. The Jaguar Journal just keep bringing me back.
Just keep calling.
Oh, man. What you got going on, Flood?
About the New Mexico State basketball program being suspended for the rest of the season.
What did they do?
Man, it's been a little bit of everything going on at New Mexico State, man. The Board of Regents, the university announced that it was suspending the operations for its basketball program until further notice. New allegations separate from events that took place in Albuquerque late last year, I should say, involving potential violations of the university's policy. While the allegations are being investigated, the men's basketball coaching staff has been placed on paid administrative leave. The game scheduled for February 11th against California Baptist will not be played. Apparently, they had some ongoing hazing incidents with one player, weapons involved. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in November, New Mexico player, this says New Mexico State. Yeah, New Mexico State basketball player shot and killed someone. They tried to ambush him in an altercation to try to get revenge from a previous fight. They tried to hit him with a baseball bat, apparently.
What?
He shot and killed one of the persons who did it. He was shot, and he shot and killed one of the persons who attempted to seek the revenge on him. But this is one of those situations where he was in the right, but they tried to cover it up, and the cover-up becomes bigger than the actual crime.
Are they?
Allegedly, coaches got involved in hiding the weapon and hiding his phone and iPad. They didn't cooperate with the police. The head coach included. The coaching staff didn't cooperate with the police, which, I mean, they have the right to an attorney, but the way they went about it was wrong. They should have hired an attorney before they even interacted with the police. And what ended up happening is the police actually had to pull over the bus as they were going to an out of town game. The police pulled over the bus, found the gun. Some of the teammates were involved because they put the gun in the trunk of a car. They hid evidence. So it's a whole big thing going on.
What the hell? They thugging it and loving it in New Mexico?
Hey, it's just one of those things, man, and then when you don't have the adults making good decisions to lead the young adults, those are some of the results that you get,
I did not hear about that story, man. That almost puts me in the mind of it wasn't that involved in terms of the staff and the school, but that incident that happened at Alabama with the young man that was on the basketball team that shot and killed the young lady.
Yeah, I think the only thing they really had in common was that there was a shooting.
Yeah.
I think that was a different situation, and I think a lot of the gossip sites kind of ran with the story just for headlines and clicks, because when you really read into that story in Alabama, it was the guy who he was hanging with who actually shot the young lady. It wasn't the actual player who shot her. Although the gossip sites kind of ran with the idea that he shot her because she wouldn't talk to him, but that's not the actual story. When you read the police report, that it was actually the guy who he was with. They charged him with the murder because they said he gave the guy the gun, but the guy had gotten in an altercation with the girl's boyfriend beforehand because he was trying to talk to her. He got into an altercation with the girl's boyfriend. The guy who was the Alabama basketball player, reportedly allegedly gave him a gun. He went and just indiscriminately opened fire on the couple. and the boyfriend returned fire. So it's a crazy, crazy world we living in now. People just shooting up like it's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, we got to put those guns down, man. Old school, put them hands up. Well, I ain't promoting no violence or nothing like. I just wanted to say that, but put them hands up, man. Be coming at
nobody fighting no more, man. People ain't been fighting. That's an old myth that people used to fight in the streets, and then it would be man.
What they say on Zorro, on guard. Put your
just stop, walk away, take your deep breath, walk away, and go on about your business, man. I don't. There's no need to even be engaging in altercations and arguments with people these days.
It's not.
Any day, man.
It's not, man. It's not at all. Hey, I be trying to live for the next football season, man. Y'all get away from me with all that foolishness. It's another season coming up, all right, and I'm trying to be there. How about that?
Yep. Happy to be here. Don't want to fight. Don't want to argue with anybody.
Too old,
just
man.
Keep it moving.
I used to like stuff like that. World Star, all that, man. I used to enjoy all that, man. That stuff is behind me. That stuff for nobody these days, It ain't even worth entertaining. Valentine's Day. Let's get on some love.
That's right. It's Valentine's Day. I think people just love, in general, people still love mess. They love to see other people miserable.
They do, man. I think that was evident.
I don't get it.
I think that was evident when we saw all of this stuff coming out about HBCUs at one time. It was like, all right, let's uplift our HBCUs. Let's give back. What do we got to do better? Then when the Ed Reed thing came out, Deion Sanders thing came out, everybody saw an opportunity to just give us the people's elbow for all those wrestler fans out there. You understand who Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock. They bunch of jabronis is what... Everybody saw an opportunity to kick, and now all of a sudden, the HBCU this and it is that, and man, how did you flip the script that quick? We just went from let's save them all. We love the movement. Everybody's coming back home to it. All that extra stuff.
A lot of people in these media spaces thought that they were going to make some money off HBCU, and that's what. Even in our community, in the African American community, is people who wanted to make money, use and blood suck the HBCU community. That's what Deion Sanders did. That's what Ed Reed was attempting to do. That's what several other people are attempting to do. And even in these media circles, Deion Sanders came to the SWAC, and all of a sudden you got all of these dudes who now want to talk about HBCU football. Deion Sanders left the SWAC. Those same dudes have thrown HBCU football under the bus, and now they're trying to get in where they fit in another genre. So I'm not surprised by this. I guess when you get into a certain age, you see the game unfold. You just watch it unfold, and you watch these crabs do their thing. So I'm not surprised by any of it. I'm not surprised how the African American community has reacted, because a lot of people in the African American community don't like black people. They're black, but they don't like black people, and they don't like anything that involves black people. Well, that's run by black people. They don't believe in stuff like that, and even though they're African American, sometimes they're just not on the same team.
What you call them, jabronis?
Jabronis.
That's what they are, a bunch of jabronis, man. I'm glad it's behind us. But every day it seems to find a way to try to bring something else out. Let's just stick to what's at hand, and that's the uplifting, that's the building, that's the continuation, that's to keep this mission going each and every day. And it ain't perfect. Is it perfect anywhere? It is not. But dang, we sure do love some drama. We sure do love some mess. And guess what? We'll share and put that out there every time faster and quicker than we would anytime it's something to deal with something positive, man. And that's the part that hurts me when it comes to our community, boy. We will ignore some good positive energy, won't we? For some old negative.
Definitely.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Thrive for the negativity. That's how they stay in there being a gatekeeper and try to stay in their place, because they thrive on negativity.
You know what they need to do? Get a life. That's what they need to do. What we're gonna do is take a break. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna jump into some sports. All right. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's the Jaguar Journal.
We know.
The Jaguar Journal. We're back. Perry Whitey's Reggie Flood.
Yes, sir.
You know, want to say, cut that music down right quick. You know, this sincere, prayers out to the family of former Southern University Athletic Director Floyd Kerr, who passed away this week, Flood.
Yeah.
He was the athletic director at Southern University from 2000 to 2005. He was 76. Flood, give the people, including myself, I wasn't around when he was the AD, but, what he did while his time at Southern University.
So he came in at a time where going through a transition, and he did what he could to make that transition comfortable. He facilitated some changes that were probably needed. He came in and he did the job to the best of his ability.
An Oxford, Mississippi native, held a bachelor and master's from Colorado State, where he's a collegiate All-American, drafted by the Phoenix Suns in the third round as the 30th pick in the 1969 NBA draft, man. So, pretty cool background coming to Southern and taking over as the athletic director. He also served as the athletic director at Morgan State over in Baltimore before his retirement in 2016. So he was around, and condolences to the family and everybody that's around that was a part of that new Floyd Kerr. I wasn't around during those times, so I wasn't. I don't think I've never even met him, to be honest. Now I'm trying to think back. I don't think I've met him, but when I saw that article and I saw the people's reaction, I was like, yeah, we got to say something about this. So, as we move forward. Now, I think I saw something. Was he influential in terms of the stadium expansion at A.W. Mumford Stadium? Okay. All right. ADs at Southern. How many ADs have you seen at Southern in your time? When you look back at it, would you have, I guess, can you have a favorite AD or somebody in terms of an AD that you thought was?
In my adult life, I have personal relationships with, most of the ADs who have come through. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. It's a job. People come in, they do the job, they do it well, or they don't do it well. Hopefully, if they stay there, it goes well. If they move on, then their life goes well doing something else, man. I don't get into favorites and all of that. I have people who are who I've had personal friendships with, who I still have personal friendships with. That doesn't mean, how I critique how they did the job or didn't do the job. I'm able to separate those things. So
let me ask you this. As we're talking about athletic directors and then we look at the conference as a whole, when you look at athletic directors in the SWAC overall, how crucial is it to be forward thinking with our programs as we try to move them ahead? And one of the athletic directors, I mean, whether people like him or not, I like what I see from time to time with Ashley Robertson at Jackson State. He seems to be a little bit different in the way he maneuvers and the way he puts himself out there compared to most ADs that's in this conference. Mm-hmm.
But then that was different.
Well, he did. Tamika Reed.
But that became a home run. I mean, he made a good hire as a women's basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the most exceptional thing. The real reason that you really know Ashley Robertson, and it's not to take anything from Ashley, is because the football program was at its depth, and he made a desperation. He hit a Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what else other than that is it? Like their facilities were crap. He had to come up. He came up with a plan. He didn't do anything that was extraordinary as an athletic director. He did his job, and he hit on a Hail Mary. Congratulations on that. I'm not taking anything from him, but he didn't do anything that most athletic directors haven't done. He really hadn't. And it's just what it is. I don't think it's even. I think most people in those positions are come in with creative ways. They have to be creative to be able to exist in the job and think out. I don't even consider thinking outside of the box. It's not having a box, period. But I think what people miss is that just because you think something doesn't necessarily comport with the realities of the job.
Yeah.
And you're not. It's not like you're in a position where you can just come in and wave your wand, or even you don't even have the power to come in and say really that in terms of major things and major changes that this should happen, because you have other people you have to answer to. You're the athletic director. You're not the president of the university. So I think that people have this misconception that the AD could just come in and just make things happen, or he could just come in and change things. And in some ways they can change in terms of maybe some structure within the athletic department, staffing, things like that. But, major changes in athletics start from the administrative office on the back or wherever it is in the campus.
Mm-hmm.
Most ADs that I know come in with ideas of how to improve the program because it's their career. Of course, they want to be successful at it, but it's a much tougher job than people give credit for. And like I said, people come in thinking just because they don't tell you that they have an idea or they don't implement the idea that you think should be happening, you don't know what's going on, what goes on in the day-to-day operations of a job. And I mean, that's just the facts of it. People, I say this all the time. If you are not in a decision-making position at your own job, you should not be telling other people who are in decision-making positions at their job how to do it. You should shut up and be better at your job. That's my motto.
Let me ask you this. Even with talking about Ashley Robinson at Jackson State, would you have a consideration for who you see perhaps as the best AD within this conference?
I see your best AD or whatever. I don't really get into that because you know what I found? I handle the business that's mine to handle. So I don't get into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get into who's the best AD or whatever.
But it's got to be a body of work that's out there that you see. And when you look at that program, you say, man, look, I like the direction that they're going. You see.
But it's so many different variables from program to program. What's good at Southern may not be good at Bethune-Cookman. What's good at Alabama State may not work at Texas Southern.
Well, we know Bethune-Cookman is not on nobody's list right now when you talk about the AD position. But there are some, you look around and you could say, like, okay, I like what they're doing over there. This seems to be headed in the right direction. Then there's some you like, I just don't know what the hell they doing.
Hell, I think anybody that works in Mississippi Valley is a miracle worker.
Amen.
That's just me, though.
Amen.
That's just me. But that's one of the toughest jobs in America.
It is.
I know there are some people out there who think that Coach Banks is doing a terrible job. And there's some people out there who think he's doing a wonderful job. He's done some things that I really agree with, that I like he's doing. He's done some things that I might not agree with. But you know what? That ain't the business that really pays me.
What we doing show?
But even in doing the show, like when you talk about sports,
mm-hmm.
Unless something is really terribly going wrong in the athletic department, you don't hear others. Like, we're the only ones in terms of HBCUs who deal with administrative things all the time. We're always critical of our administrators, whether it be presidents. Others, you just don't see that at other places for the most part, unless something is really going wrong at that university in a public manner. But I just, unless something is going definitely wrong and you really going downhill, I don't really get into that, man. I don't really get into it. And what I'm always aware of when you hear people highly critical of athletic directors or
mm-hmm.
Sometimes I always have to look at the other side because in my experience, I found that in a lot of cases, the people leading the call have personal issues with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the reasons why I have the attitude about it, because a lot of times you can trace back the criticism to personal issues with the person that's in that position for whatever reason. So that being the man that I am, unless it's something like I can really be critical of them doing the job, and it's not something that's subjective just because you feel that way, I don't get into it. If it's something concrete, they say, hey, this is an NCAA violation or athletes running wild or grade issues or something like that, then that's something to talk about. But if it's just, I don't think he's being innovative enough, that's your opinion. I don't care nothing about that because a lot of times that goes back to personal issues.
All right, we got to take a break. Top of the hour. We'll be right back.
From ABC News.
Don't be tripping when you see us in the club, just showing up. Represent the other side, I engage around here. If you say you go to her.
All right. It's the Jaguar Journal. We're back. He's Reggie Flood. I'm Perry White.
Yes, sir.
Go to the phone.
Sir.
Mike, you said we got somebody on the phone call? All right, let's go to the phone line. Good morning. Welcome to the Jaguar Journal.
Guys.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Scott?
Hey,
what's good?
Scott.
How you doing?
Scotty.
What's going on?
Do us.
Man, listen, loving it, man. I'm just watching you guys, and I think I think it's kind of unfair. If you can fire an AD for a bad hire, that you can't give AD like his kudos when he goes out and does something. Like even if it's a desperation heat, because if it was a desperation heat that didn't work, we will be so down on Ashley. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would he do that? Da da da. But I think you got to give him his kudos because the heat worked and it was really revolutionary to what they were trying to do. I get, a lot of people say Jackson State is still going to be Jackson State, which we all get. But the publicity, the exposure, the facilities, everything that Ashley was able to get from the partnership with Dion, I mean, I think you have to list him as one of the top ADs in the SWAC, in my opinion.
Hey, that's your opinion. I think what he did, he made a desperation heave. It worked. That's great. That's great for Jackson State. It became a situation where people, they flocked to it. Hey, it's a great situation, great for him, but I'm a big picture person. I look at things from 30,000 feet. And for the most part, while things have improved at Jackson State, they still have some of the same situations that they had when Coach Sanders got there. They're still dealing with some of those same situations now. Now, is that Ashley's fault? I don't think that's Ashley's fault, but I think he put him in a better position to deal with it. I give him props for that. I'm not taking anything from him. I said that clearly. I'm not taking anything from Ashley. He made a move, and it worked for them. Shouts out to him. But I can't say that Ashley is the best AD because he shot a Hail Mary and it worked. That's like saying, a guy hits a running three-pointer to win a game, and now he's the GOAT. That doesn't necessarily, because there are other people who are dealing with issues and doing things and growing the athletic program that don't have, just because they didn't get the star power move doesn't necessarily mean they're not doing a great job for their overall athletic program. He did something really good for their football program. He grew their football program. That's good, but when you're talking about the athletic director, you're talking about dealing with 15 to 18 sports, being able to grow those sports, manage those sports, manage the athletic department, and all of those things. I don't have enough information to be able to say that Ashley's doing all of those things well. I don't have it. That's why I say I don't really get into that, because I don't have enough information to say that this athletic director is managing his athletic department well. All we know is what we see, and we're judging on one sport and what we see on the peripheral. We don't know what we don't even know the numbers at Jackson State. Like, we don't even know really truly what the athletic budget, what the revenue, we don't know any of those things actually. So I don't know. I can't say that Ashley's the best or Ashley's the worst. I know he did a good job in making a hire of Deion Sanders. It looks like they've done a good job in keeping TC as the head football coach. But the athletic department is more than just the football team. So, kudos and props to him for that. But I don't get into who's the best athletic director because I don't know all the parameters. Hell, the dude at Mississippi Valley might be the best athletic director just because he's keeping them afloat.
I mean, he is an Ashley Robinson protege, so that's like a coaching tree. I mean, Ashley Robinson, that guy's been with him. Hakeem has been with him since he was with PV, since he did that PV. So I mean, that's an Ashley Robinson protege right there. So that also would be a kudos to Ashley Robinson. Now he has an AD coaching tree. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. There's more to ADing than just having a successful football program. But, I mean, if you look at the totality of what he's doing, basketball championships, baseball championships, I think they won cross country championship, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, I get it though, but I mean, I like how Reggie was. I like how Perry was saying, like, what direction you like. Man, I like the way the direction they're going in. You know, as much as I have my issues with Jackson, I can clear. You know, I would say that if I was running a program, I would think Ashley Robinson would be an AD that I would like to be. I would have run it based off of his success rate of what he's doing at Jackson. Now, I get what you're saying, that everything doesn't work everywhere because of because of the politics at each individual school and how you can matriculate that, like you said earlier, with administration and things like that being the overall arcing factor of most of these decisions. But you got to give kudos to Ashley when you can. But I love what you guys doing, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing.
I appreciate you, Scotty. Thank you.
Appreciate the call, man.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Ashley. I think, his decision to go after Deion Sanders and bring Deion Sanders in was a good hire. It worked out for him. He should get kudos for that.
I guess the big thing, if you look at the response of how do you measure up, and like you talked about and Scotty brought up, how do you measure up what you consider success for AD? Is it fundraising, bringing in dollars? Is it making coaching hires and coaches winning championships? Because it sounds good to win the Commissioner Cup every year, right? To have the most championships won more than any other athletic department within your conference. But then how much money are you able to generate in order to help that program? What facility upgrades are you getting for that program? Behind the scenes, when you talk about just the nuance of what comes with athletics, when you look at staying with APR and so many other things. So, I guess it's really, what do you base an AD off of when you say success? And everybody has their own idea of what they believe success is. Some could be fundraising. Hey, this AD came in, he was able to raise so much amount of money, but he couldn't hire a coach to save his life, the right coach to save his life. But he can bring in some money. Then you got some that may not be able to bring in no money, but dang, he does not miss when it comes to hiring a coach. See what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a slippery slope when you get to the AD world.
Exactly my point, Perry, that it's so subjective, and then you inject the personal issues, and it's so subjective. Some ADs are better at some things than others. And I guess, you could set some parameters, but then that becomes a personal thing as to what the parameters are. So that's why I don't get into it. And I don't think there's enough information out there in totality to really make those kinds of judgments. Now, that doesn't mean you can't decide what's bad, because some things that are bad are just bad. If your programs are getting put on probation, that's bad.
Yeah.
If your programs can't do things because they're being underfunded, that's bad. Those are clearly bad things. But minus those things, you really don't have enough information to be able to gauge who's the best or who's the worst or whatever, or even for that matter, who's innovative. Because some people may have innovative ideas, they just may not be in a situation where they can implement those ideas.
Boy, it sounds like some money needs to be made, right? Low resource institutions is what we call them, and that's what they are. And sometimes it is hard. It is easy to think up ideas and say, well, they should be doing it. Well, hell, if you ain't going to go help them with many other alums coming to write a check or using your resources, how do you expect for them to be able to do it or to get it off the ground? They can't rub their hand together and a genie appears and says, what's your wish? It doesn't work like that. It does take money. And for most of us, and pretty much for all of us, we know what pretty much is the breadwinner when it comes to athletics. It is football. And I think Southern, more than most of the other schools, between Southern and Jackson, Alabama State, FAMU right there too on the cusp, doing great jobs at being able to generate revenue through their football programs that ultimately gives those other sports an opportunity. Because even here at Southern, there are sports that we don't have that Alabama State or Prairie View does have, which gives them the leg up when you start to talk about putting your name in the Commissioner Cup conversation, right? And so,
like some people say Southern, some people would say that's a bad thing. Then other people would say, well, Southern is always in the top 5, top half of the conference in the Commission's Cup, and they have 3 less sports than everybody. So than most other schools in the conference. So, I mean, that could go either way. See, that's what I'm talking about, it being subjective.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's do this. It's not subjective. We got to take a break. We got to pay some bills. Mike, send us out. We'll be right back. More to Jaguar Journal.
Care South is now providing COVID-19 drive-through community testing at their Baton Rouge clinic. Testing is available for anyone with or without symptoms and no doctor's order required. No insurance? Care South will cover the cost. Care South is a federally qualified health center providing comprehensive medical, dental, and behavioral health services, offering telehealth services and an in-house pharmacy. Satellite clinics in Donaldsonville, Plaquemine, and Zachary. At Care South, we're here for you. Care South. Family serving families. Care South is now providing COVID-19.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Jaguar Journal. This is how we do it. Reggie Flood, I'm Perry White.
Yes, sir.
Let's jump right into it. SWAC basketball. Yes. Y'all thought y'all was going to get away this week without it? You will not. SWAC basketball on the women's side. Guess what? Southern University last week took on Alabama A&M and Alabama State, both on the road. And let's start on the women's side with Southern falling short to Alabama A&M up in Huntsville, Alabama, 60-50. The Southern University women's basketball team. Whoo, Lord, listen. Somewhere, Chris, where you at? Cut your radio up. I got some stats for you, all right? They shot 20 of 51 for 39%, 1 of 8 from the three-point line, shooting 12%, 9 of 13 from the free throw line, shooting 69% on the other side for Alabama A&M women's basketball, shooting 24 of 57 for 42%, 3 of 17 from the three-point line, 17% as well as with Southern, both 9 of 13 from the free throw line, shooting 69%. The largest lead in that ball game for Alabama A&M was 12 points for Southern's women's basketball. It was 4. Then Monday night, Southern's women's team went on down to Montgomery, Alabama, to take on the Hornets of Alabama State. They fell short again. A 2-game loss, 2 road losses right here, 48-43 for Southern University women against Alabama State. Chris, turn it up a little louder. Got some more stats for you. Southern University women shooting 14 of 47 in this ball game, 29%, 4 of 14 from the three-point line, shooting 26%, 11 of 26 from the free throw line, shooting 42% on the other side for Alabama State. 13 of 44, shooting 29%, 4 of 15 from the three-point line, shooting 26%. Woo! 18 of 26 from the free throw line, shooting 69%. Alabama State, man, getting the victory, 48-43. If that ain't cringy, I don't know what is when you look at those percentages. But around the conference, let's go back to Saturday. Grambling getting a victory over Alabama State women 52-51. UAPB women, they're on the roll, getting a 73-61 victory over Alcorn State. Alcorn, it don't matter. I know y'all listening anyway. Bethune-Cookman 59, Prairie View 49. FAMU 66 getting a victory over Texas Southern on the road on the women's side 55. And Jackson State women, they just do what they do. They keep this train. What the song keep on rolling? Hey, 85-63 over Mississippi Valley State. And then on Monday night, Grambling takes a heartbreaker, 57-53 on the road to Alabama A&M. Bethune-Cookman gets a big victory on the road on the women's side, 66-62. Jackson State, what I just said, it keeps on rolling. They beat Pine Bluff 88-53, and that was a good game. Pine Bluff came into that ball game on a 4-game win streak. Jackson State, of course, has been rolling. I thought it was going to be closer than what it was, but clearly that 4-game win streak meant nothing for Pine Bluff as Jackson State continue to go on with the success that they have. Prairie View 51, Florida A&M 49. Alcorn State getting a victory over in-state rival Mississippi Valley 74-51. And let's go take a little dive into this Jackson State Pine Bluff game. I want to see what Jackson State shot. 32 of 63 in that ball game for 50%. They were 5 of 16 from the three-point line, shooting 31%. And from the free throw, 19 of 33, 57% in that ball game. Their largest lead was 38 in that game. Woo. Woo. All right, we get into today's matchups. All right, Southern University against Prairie View. All right, today, February the 11th, it is a home game. Alabama State will be taking on UAPB up in Pine Bluff. Jackson State on the road, going over to Tallahassee, taking on FAMU today. Alcorn State and Bethune-Cookman will be going at it over in Daytona Beach. Texas Southern on the road to North Louisiana, taking on Grambling. And Alabama A&M and Mississippi Valley State, that game will take place up in Itta Bena, Mississippi Valley, 2-20 on the women's side. And then Monday, let's take a look. Alcorn State on the road to Florida A&M. Jackson State will head over to Bethune-Cookman on Daytona Beach on Monday. Prairie View and Grambling will take on each other. Pine Bluff and Alabama A&M. Texas Southern and Southern on the women's side will go happen on Monday, and as well as Alabama State and Mississippi Valley State. All right, now let's go to the SWAC standings. Let's tell you who's in first place. Of course, you know who it is. It's Jackson State. Their women's team is 10-1, 13-8 overall. Right there behind them, 2 games out, tied in second place. Bethune-Cookman at 8-3, Alabama A&M at 8-3, and behind them in the third place spot in a tie, Alabama State and Prairie View. Sandy Pugh has her team 7-4. Both teams identical conference record as well as overall record. Both overall are 10-12 on the season. And then you got a stack up right there in that fourth spot. It'll be Pine Bluff and Southern 6-5. Man, Southern's women have falling down the ladder a little bit compared to where they were at just a couple weeks ago. 6-5 in conference play, 9-13, and behind them another tie with Alcorn and Grambling for who's going to be below 500, right, in conference play. Alcorn and Grambling both sitting there at 5-6. Then you got the Rattlers of FAMU at 3-8. Texas Southern's women's basketball, man, 1-10. I haven't seen them this far at the bottom in a long time. Down in that cellar dweller with Mississippi Valley, who is yet to win a conference game. Flood, what you see in some surprises for you when you look at the women's side of SWAC basketball?
Not any surprises so far, man. I think, I think the parity outside of Jackson State being dominant, I think the parity among the other schools in the league is very interesting, and I'm interested to see how the tournament goes because I don't think the tournament is going to be an easy road for Jackson State. I think teams are starting to, not figure them out because they're a very good team. They're very talented, but I don't think teams are as intimidated by Jackson State as they've been in the past.
Well, they whooping everybody up. Southern, how do you feel about the women's team right now, man? It's been tough for them as they've been taking some losses, 2 games on the road across the chin. Of course, then against Jackson State right now, they're riding a 3-game losing streak on the women's side.
Yeah, Southern is a conundrum, man. Sometimes you see them and they play very well, but they just lack some things. They lack some things in terms of bigs who can really score and who can do the things athletically on defense. They struggle scoring the ball. They don't shoot well. I don't know, man. They're a frustrating team to watch sometimes. I can imagine if it's frustrating for me, it must be really frustrating for the coaching staff.
Yeah. Chris, where you at? I know you'll be calling in. I gave you those shooting percentages, Chris. I know you don't like them, but turn your radio up every Saturday when I get to basketball talking about those shooting percentages on the women's side or on the men's side, because I'm going to get to the men after we come in from a break. But Jackson State right now leading the way 10-1. Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman. Alabama A&M. Second place. 8-3. Hey, that East. Right now, the best teams, if I know there's no East and West, but I still look at them, it's the East teams. Jackson State, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama A&M, and Alabama State all seem to be leading the way right now to be the top teams in women's basketball in this conference, Flood.
Yep. They seem to be the top teams, and man, it's just like I said, that the women's side of basketball is interesting. Of course, like you said, Jackson State is a dominant team, but there's so many teams in there who seem like they could be in the fray, and it seems like they're kind of all bunched up together. A lot of teams in the conference seem to have a problem. There's not a lot of scoring outside of Jackson State, so there's not a lot of scoring going on in the conference. Not a lot of good shooting. They kind of, it's kind of a street shooting conference. So, we'll just have to continue to look at it. And as this tournament gets closer, I'm interested in the tournament because you have so many teams who are close, and a lot of times one of those teams finds their way in a situation like the tournament.
Yeah.
And they get on the streak, because I don't think any of them are bad teams. They're just not exceptional teams, and you always got to watch out for teams like that because they get on a little hot streak, and the next thing you know, they won the conference tournament, and the best team is not necessarily the best team is out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've seen it.
One game. Yeah.
We've seen it in this conference, and of course, a couple weeks ago, Southern women fell short to Jackson State in a hard-fought game, 64-57. In that ball game, since we didn't do it, Jackson State shot 22 of 45 against Southern University, 48%. 3 of 18 from the three-point line, shooting 37%, and 17 of 29 from the free throw line, shooting 58% on the other side for Southern University women. 20 of 63 shooting 31%, 9 of 16 shooting 56% from the three-point line, and 8 of 11 from the free throw line, shooting 72%. Jackson State women seem to have lived on the line. When you go 17 to 29, shooting 58%, 29 free throw attempts, man, you can win some games just shooting 29 free throws, right?
Yeah.
23 fouls in that game for Southern, 15 for Jackson State. Man, okay, we good? Nobody on, all right. And that is tough anytime you look at those shooting percentages. But as we say, it's always big about knocking down those free throws. But, man, when you have a tough night of shooting and you're not able to get those rebounds to be able to put them up, that's what makes it even tougher for most of these teams. And it seems to be what's making it tough for Southern right now as they are on a 3-game losing streak. Hopefully they get things back on track today as they move forward to take on Prairie View. Sandy Pugh coming to town, everybody. She'll be in town. What's the old quote, Flood?
Pennies to Benjis.
Hey, well, the Benjis going to be in here throwing them up today, all right? So guess what? We got to get ready to take a break. When we come back,
we'll keep the conversation going, talking some SWAC men's basketball. All right, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. More of the Jaguar Journal.
All right. We're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry Whitey's Reggie Flood. Let's go to the phone lines. We got CJ on the line. Good morning, CJ.
Hey, Perry. Hey, Reggie. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing well. What's going on, CJ?
Oh, good, man. I'm glad to hear from two fine guys, you know. But I do have a little few things I like to bring up so you all can comment on it from me. You know, sometimes, like, you know, Reggie was saying, you don't take nothing personal. This is a business. And no matter what the business is, you still got to take care of your business before you take care and think about personal stuff, okay? And the reason I say that, it's a number of things that I can see that at Southern University has not matched up to the things that what we was raised on, brought on, known for, have just fallen off the cliff, okay? I'm going to start off with the human jukebox. Guys, the human jukebox today is not the same human jukebox that's got all the awards and the claims and all the other things of the 60s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. This is not the same human jukebox. Everybody else is winning an award these days but the human jukebox. Something is wrong that has gone, in a different direction than what we have been accustomed to seeing in the human jukebox and the dancing dolls. Look like to me the dancing dolls are still holding their own, but the human jukebox has dropped off. That's just my little comment on that. As it relates to the athletic program, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. We should have replaced the women and the men basketball coach 5 years ago. But it didn't because of personal relationships. Didn't think about which way the program's supposed to be going or should have been going because of personal relationships. And that goes back to a number of things that I can bring on, but we don't have the time. And then as it relates to the athletic director, I tried to call in when that particular segment was on. Look, guys, y'all can say what y'all want. CJ might be the villain in this, but we need a new athletic director as well. They made the decisions, haven't shown that the athletic department have made money. Are we still losing money? We don't never have nothing that we can call accountability here. Now, I'm like Chris. Chris can really come down and do some things, but I love to hear when Chris come on because he's telling it like it is and just blowing some things up. But it is some things that we see that is right here in our faces that's just been hitting us, and we have not said or done anything about it, and we're going to take a beating for this. So that was my comments, guys. I just wanted to share with y'all. So thanks a lot, y'all. Having a great time, though, and I think you're doing a good job.
All right. Thank you, CJ.
CJ.
Any comments, Mr. Flood?
Hey, that's CJ's opinion. He feels the way he feels about it. I would give him some pushback on the ban. I think the ban situation is a generational thing. I do. I think older people don't like some of the things that the band does, but I don't think they like the thing that any band does. And I don't think any band is winning any more awards than Southern. Nobody gets more props than Southern's band. Yeah. And I don't, that's been under I come from a generation where people complain. We were a generation that complained about Dr. Griggs and the band and the things that they do, the same old thing over and over again. So it's subjective. Like I said, that's his opinion, but I don't think the jukebox is, I've seen them do some great shows. I've seen them do some not so great shows, but I saw that under Dr. Griggs too. And I know he's a legend, and sometimes the legend people filter out the stuff that's the not memorable stuff, and you keep the memorable stuff. So I just think that it's subjective. We have an opinion on it. That's all well and good, but I don't think anything's wrong with the jukebox. As far as the athletic director, we have measurables whether the program is making money or not making money. Apparently, there was some issue when they came out with the legislative report. The athletic department ended up, I think it was spending $300,000 more than it took in. At least that was the initial report. They said that they would go back and look at that, and I have to go back and reread it again. But, like I said, it's subjective. In terms of the basketball coach, if Coach Woods, this year has been a year where they started out hot, and they have. I won't say he should have been fired 5 years ago, but I will say this: Coach Woods has been given more than an ample chance to prove that he can win or not, or disprove whether he can win championships at Southern. So far, we haven't seen it. I think this is probably his final year. If he doesn't win the championship, I think it's literally championship or bust this year. And then we'll see some changes in terms of Coach Funches. I think I think too, we have to evaluate some things in terms of what the situation was when they took over, where the program was. I don't know if either one of those jobs were jobs that were going to draw great applicants during the situation, what the situation was when those jobs came open. I think now you'll probably see a greater pool of applicants because the situation is better. We don't have APR issues. We don't have probation issues. We don't have all of those things now. So you'll probably see a better pool of applicants. In terms of Coach Funches, I think Coach Funches is doing the best that he can do. And it just is what it is. I got to think about it. Coach Funches has actually won a regular season championship. I'm not sure. Has he won a tournament, P. White?
I don't think he's won the tournament yet. I
don't think he's won the tournament, but I think he's won a regular season championship.
Yeah, he did.
So,
they went to Mississippi State.
That's right.
Yeah,
they sure did. So he's actually won championships. You know, he's actually won championships. So, you know, the
credit. Because I went to Mississippi State with him. Yeah.
That's right.
Definitely.
So the program has been, you know, it's been as successful as it was under Sandy Pugh. But then, you know, CJ had beef with Sandy Pugh too, so that's not surprising. But yeah.
He be letting
so yeah, that's what it is.
That wasn't because it was a recording. They made an album, so it's a little bit different. But you right,
yeah.
It is what it is. Let's jump over to SWAC men right quick while we still got time. All right, go back last week, Southern University taking on Alabama A&M, and you were just talking about Coach Sean Woods and the men's basketball team. Well, guess what? This was a tough road loss in Huntsville, 82-61. The Jags shot 20 of 47 for 42%, 5 of 20 from the three-point line, shooting 25%. Good day shooting free throws, Chris. 16 of 18, shooting 88%. 31 of 50 for Alabama A&M in this ball game, shooting 62%. 9 of 20 from the three-point line for the Bulldogs, 45% there, and 11 of 16 from the free throw line, shooting 68%. A&M largest lead in that game, of course, was 23. Then Monday night, the Jaguars traveled down to Montgomery, Alabama to take on Alabama State. Whew. Alabama was tough for both men and women. The Jags fell short 73-66 to the Hornets of Alabama State. Southern shooting 25 of 70 for 35%. 3 of 27 from the three-point line, shooting 11%. But guess what, Chris? They were 13 of 16 from the free throw line, shooting 81%. But the other stats for the Hornets, 26 of 59, shooting 44%, 6 of 19 from the three-point line, shooting 31%, 15 of 19 from the free throw line, shooting 78%, The Hornets' largest lead in that ball game was 13 for Southern, 5. You go back and you look at games around the conference last Saturday, Grambling getting the victory over Alabama State, 73-60. Pine Bluff falling short by 3 to Alcorn, 70-67. FAMU winning against Texas Southern, 76-69 on the road. Mississippi Valley, big win against Jackson State, 82-78 for the Delta Devils over the Tigers of Jackson State, and 60-58. Bethune getting a victory over Prairie View. Go back over to Monday. Grambling found a way to get out of Alabama all right, getting a 66-60 victory over Alabama A&M. FAMU falling short, 75-45 to Prairie View. Jackson State, controversial game towards the end. It blew up. 88-84 in 2 overtimes. Man, we'll probably just skip over what all happened there. Texas Southern getting a victory, a much-needed victory over Bethune-Cookman, 69-62 in Alcorn State, getting an 81-70 victory over the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State. You look at the SWAC overall standings on the men's side. There's a new sheriff in town, and their name Alcorn. All right, Alcorn. I don't care. I know y'all listening. They're 9-2. They're in first place right now. Southern University tied in second place with Grambling, both 8-3, 1 game out of the first place spot. And below them, right there, tied in that third place spot, both 6-5. Jackson State and UAPB now get the battle of who's going to be above 500 before the other team. Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and Prairie View all sitting there 4 games out. Conference records 5-6. Texas Southern 4-7. They're trying. Florida A&M 3-8, and Mississippi Valley once again on both the men and the women's side are at the bottom. Mississippi Valley at 2-9. You look at the SWAC standing, Alcorn right there, Southern and Grambling right behind them. Flood with Jackson State and UAPB right on their heels. Those teams are 3 games out. Southern and Grambling 1 game out.
with Alcorn sitting there at the top.
Yeah. Nice run to the end of this season, man. We getting it's crunch time now, baby. It's time to get into crunch time. So the Jags, they started out hot. We kind of saw them cool off a little bit. They struggled on the road. Now they're back at home for Prairie View and Texas Southern. They can get a couple of victories here. It would be real big.
Be real big to be on the court. Southern, one of the few teams on the men's side that is undefeated at home. That's the beautiful thing about Jaguars right now. They haven't lost at the Mini Dome, the FG Clark Activity Center. So hopefully home court advantage continues to work in their favor this weekend as they have the Texas team, Prairie View and Texas Southern coming in. And right now what we got to do is go out. We got to take a break, and when we come back, we'll get ready to close this thing out. All right? Stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Are you looking for a safe, healthier work environment with an increase in employee productivity? Look no further than Go 225 Janitorial Services. We can provide a free quote for your commercial cleaning needs. Don't leave your commercial cleaning to just anyone. Your company's image is important to us. We're locally owned and operated and provide a quality, reliable cleaning service every time. Visit Go 225 Janitorial Services online at go225janserve.com or contact us at 225-360-5233.
Jaguar Journal. Mike, you went somewhere else with this one.
Eddie Murphy, baby. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy and Rick James. My girl wants to party all the time. Party all the time.
Yeah, he went somewhere else with that one. All right.
You don't know nothing about that one, baby.
I've seen the video.
Eddie Murphy and Rick James.
I never knew he even made music. I just saw it and I was like, let me play the song.
Oh yeah, Eddie had some. Eddie got songs with Rick James, songs with Rick James. He put out a couple albums, songs with Michael Jackson.
He got a reggae song too, I think, that I listened to one time. Yeah.
Reggae song. You know, in the movie Dreamgirls, Eddie was really doing his own singing.
Yeah, because he looks like he loves to do his own singing. A talented guy.
Jimmy got soul. Jimmy got soul.
Oh man, Super Bowl Sunday, Flood. You say you rolling with the Eagles?
Nah, man, I'm rolling with the Wizards, man.
Eat the barbecue with me.
I told you I can't go against the Wizards, man. I say on paper everything says you go with the Eagles, but I can't go against the Wizards, man. Mahomes is a wizard.
He is a wizard. I've seen that dude throw balls in any type. Pause. I've seen this dude. How can I say this? Well, he's a great quarterback. All right, let's put it like that. All right, good quarterback, one of the best in the league. And now with Tom Brady saying, "I'm sitting down," I saw he's filing the retirement papers. It's official. Has it now with the Kansas City Chiefs, who has played in 5 divisional championships now? Does it seem that the Chiefs are the new it now?
That, I think he is, and it remains to be seen. I think them winning this game can propel them to being the new, proposed dynasty in the NFL. I mean, you think about it, this would be his 3rd Super Bowl. He's been to 5 straight AFC championship games. This will be his 3rd Super Bowl appearance. If he wins, it'll be his 2nd, 2 out of 3. I mean, he started having a conversation about, where Mahomes and where the Chiefs stand in terms of teams in the NFL, top teams. I think you have to put them, if they win this, as one of the top franchises in the NFL.
Shout out
they are one of the top franchise in the NFL.
Shout out to everybody that's following and listening on YouTube. We are live on there. Thank you guys for coming in and being a part of the show via YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's out there with your radios turned up. Chris, I know you somewhere with the radio turned up. You got to have the love when you call out Chris every week, right? CJ somewhere listening to. CJ, don't be calling in here with all them rants and raves, man. CJ unloaded the clip this morning. He had some stuff on his heart in 2023, didn't he?
No.
He wanted his one. All right. It's all love, man. Thank you guys for calling in. Off script, Scotty calling in. CJ, thank you for calling in. Everybody that's on social media that's following, everybody that is on YouTube that's following us. Flo, we're going to get that live going back up going in here this spring. Yeah, we're going to figure it out. We'll figure it out. The Human Jukebox will be down in New Orleans today. What is it? How do you say that? The parade? Femme Fatale? They'll be down in Femme Fatale. The Jaguars have Prairie View in town. Today, Texas Southern Monday. So if you guys aren't out feeling festive in terms of the Mardi Gras time of the year, make sure you go over there across that hump. The past couple games I've been to against Alcorn and Jackson, the atmosphere has been electric on the FG Clark Activity Center. It's been a great time. And guess what? That atmosphere helps propel the Jags to a victory on both times. And so but definitely get in there and help them out. Men and women, today should be some good games, especially on the women's side with former Southern University head women's basketball coach Sandy Pugh coming in with her new team. What'd she say, Flood? I just can't let that go. That's just instilled in my head forever. And she'll be in today. She won numerous championships at Southern. So, she is a Southern legend on the women's side in terms of coaching. She'll be in with her team from Prairie View. And guess what? Prairie View is the only team on the women's side to beat Jackson State and Tamika Reed. So, they are a tough team. So the Jags, Coach Funches and the Southern University women's basketball team will have their hands full. Softball season is getting kicked off. Baseball season is getting kicked off, so some sports are rolling. Congratulations to Coach Doyle, the bowling coach at Southern University, Women Coach of the Year over at the SWAC.
Him and the women's team for winning the SWAC and being the Coach of the Year and getting his 100th victory.
Congratulations, my brother. We'll have to get him on the show. He's never been on the show, I don't believe. We haven't had him on.
make that happen.
Yeah.
We old friends. We go back a long way.
We'll give that brother a call and say, hey, man, we'd love to have him on here and get a chance to congratulate him and give him his roses here in 2023. That is a huge job of doing that at bowling. I probably need to go get some lessons because I'm only good at bowling on the Wii. Remember, I don't know if you played that bowling game on the Wii. That's about where as good as I am because I am not the greatest bowler in life. I don't even like to put my fingers in the hole. I just chunk that thing down there, right? Kick me out the bowling alley for what I'm doing. Hey, Flood, what's your plans? What you getting into this weekend?
Man, we're going to do it. Then we're going to maybe go out for a little while and enjoy the Mardi Gras atmosphere, get out and about. Sunday, Super Bowl. I got Tulane basketball today. And then tomorrow, LSU and the LSU South Carolina game in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, what you think? Get together for the situation.
Yeah, a little kickback.
All right. Everybody out there for listening. Be sure to go follow and subscribe to the Jaguar Journal on YouTube. Catch up with us. You can always go back and listen to any of the episodes. I know we on early in the morning to get your day started. So if you're not able to catch us early in the morning, you can go to YouTube and subscribe to the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel and go back and listen to any episode. Shout out to my guy Mike, who's been being a tremendous help with us getting this thing kicked off and trying to do things differently because we do understand we are early on a Saturday morning from 7 to 9. But thank you to everybody that does get up and listen to us bright and early here on 107.3 and as well as on our Jaguar Journal YouTube channel. Hey, Flood, get us up out of here, baby.
Man, upstairs is the same. We'll be back at the same time in the same place.